But to me, the Rams deserve a ton of credit because to go on the road and win is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. And they were the team that did it this weekend.
And they've done it 2 weekends in a row. And if you were listening, and I appreciate you doing that in the car, let me tell you that I'm trying to rationalize it this way. The Rams are battle-tested. They went to Carolina, check. They got that revenge game. They went to Chicago and proved to the country that it's summertime in L.A. It's 80 freaking degrees when you take off. And in Antarctic temperatures, you find a way to win that game. And now the third part of this is go to Seattle and find a way to win a game when those two teams, George, played such close games. In the 2 games that they played, Seattle and L.A., they were insanely close.
Well, and for people, this is a phrase you like to use. For those that may not have been familiar with the Bears and the way their season unfolded, what Caleb and the Bears did to the Rams to send it to overtime, they did it 7 times in the regular season that eventually ended up in resulting in a win for the Bears. Mm-hmm. So, like, the Rams escaping that, where they've been, the Bears, that is, so comfortable. You talk about the Rams being battle-tested. The Bears were so comfortable in those scenarios of, oh, it's late in the game and we're losing and we got to try to come back and win. Yeah, I mean, half their season was basically that.
Right, and that is why, George, I said this earlier, and there'll be agree, disagree. It doesn't really matter now. Game is over. But I would have gone for 2. When you throw that insane touchdown on 4th down, when I know for me, I thought you just launched that ball up into the air in desperation. I thought that ball was going out of bounds. I had no idea there was a receiver on the other end. When you take the energy and the crowd is going nuts and the Rams are on their heels and you're the kind of team that goes for it on 4th down seemingly every time, I would have gone for the 2-point conversion in that moment. And listen, you can live to fight another day, but living to fight another day may mean losing in overtime, and that's exactly what happened. I would have gone for the 2-point conversion. What would you have done?
I heard you and Bergman talking about this earlier. I understand your point of view. Like, I totally get it. I don't believe in momentum game to game, but within the context of a specific game, yes, I generally believe in that. I think their fans would have that's such a risky proposition, right? Because if you do it, I mean, you've got big coconuts to try to pull that off, right? Mm-hmm. But if you fail, I think some people will be okay with it, but the others will be like, you're at home. Why not go for overtime? Blah, blah, blah. You know, like, I think I'm pretty sure the analytics said to kick there, did it not? Like, I'm pretty sure that was the case.
They were stopped multiple times on 4th down. That was not the right time.
Well, but
you
said they were 3 for 6.
3 for 6. Yeah.
So it's funny you say that they were stopped multiple times on 4th down.
Doesn't
that also means that they also were converted 4th downs an equal number of times? It was literally a 50-50 proposition, right?
It was 50-50 proposition. In that tight of a space, to win the game or lose the game, go to overtime.
Yeah, but, you go to overtime, and listen, it's
according to the analytics, though, Kappy, 2-point conversion is 38%, and the overtime kicking the field goal is 50-50. So.
Yeah, so that's what it was. The analytics were on their side in that scenario.
I'm sorry, the PAT. I apologize.
But wait, the PAT was only 50-50?
No. The PAT to send it into overtime, yes. And your chances of what she's trying to explain to you is the chance of converting the 2-point conversion are 38%, which means your chance to win are only 38% in that scenario. Whereas if you kick the extra point, you then have a 50-50 shot, a 12% better chance of winning the game. If you go to overtime.
Yeah. I mean, the numbers are, they're not overwhelming. They're convincing, but they're not overwhelming.
I would agree with that, but, I mean, 38% is not, I mean, it's not, I think that if you trust the math, and they have all season, you got to go, right? Like, it's if you play blackjack. if you hit on a soft 17, you got to keep hitting on a soft 17. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just your strategy. You got to stick to it in that scenario.
And that's my point. Is that strategically speaking, you made it from the very beginning of the game that you were a go for it on fourth down kind of a team. And this wasn't fourth down, this was a 2-point conversion. But again, my only point is that when you've got the energy the way you've got it, and you've got the Rams standing around going, wait, he pushed off. And then the other part of the problem is, and you probably heard this as well, George, everybody can look at Caleb Williams and they can say, but look what Caleb did in overtime. Look at that terrible interception.
Here's what I'll say. It wasn't that far prior to that drive that the Rams stopped them on a goal-to-goal situation.
That's right. They did. And it was I'm trying to remember who was it? Was it Cam Curl or who was it from the secondary that made a monster hit?
Well, that was play? Cam Kitchens, I believe, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, because Swift had jumped up in the air to try and hurdle.
Oh no, it was Lake.
Yeah,
it was Quentin Lake. So
the
first hit was somebody else who hit him low, but low enough where he stopped his momentum enough where he went straight up in the air, and then Lake came over the top. It looked like something you'd see in a wrestling ring, for God's sake.
Yeah. The other part of it is look, I will tell you this. Caleb Williams a year ago, I was like, man, I'm not so sure. I don't know. Caleb Williams, he's the best athlete on the field in high school. He's the best athlete on the field in college. He can't be doing this stuff in the NFL.
Well, yeah,
he's proving me wrong. He can do these things.
He couldn't do it as a rookie. He couldn't do it as a rookie because he didn't have the weapons and all that stuff. And
also didn't have the coach, right?
And the offensive line, and because they went in free agency and really spent on the offensive line. But yeah, he can do it now because he's got weapons and he's got an offensive line, and he's incredible to watch.
But I am not blaming Caleb Williams for the final interception.
No, that was absolutely no. Bergman was in our group text, but I feel like are you still there, Bergman? Because so for people that don't remember, DJ Moore was the intended target. So Chris Collinsworth, did you guys stay watching after the game or no?
Yeah, for sure.
So Collinsworth explained that DJ Moore didn't even look, the way he ran the route, didn't even think the ball was coming to him.
Right. Not only that, but he also did not have like just sell out, dude, 110% at all times. His effort wasn't there, and the way he ran the route. And by the way, Collinsworth is not the only one, George.
Well, okay, so I watched SportsCenter. I watched SportsCenter right after, and Tim Hasselback was in studio. And he ripped DJ Moore too, like saying, I don't know, say ripped, but he got into DJ Moore too, saying, hey man, you gotta run that route flatter. Like that's exactly what he's expecting. You're running it too deep,
and he threw the ball where he expected you to be.
And by the way, that's what I said in our group chat, that he ran it too deep in real time. But like because there's no way that's where he thought the receiver was going to be.
And by the way, let's just pause on that
and
for
give
one quick
Curl
second.
a lot of credit.
Yes, exactly.
For jumping it and realizing, this dude doesn't think the ball's coming to him. This ball's sailing. I'm gonna go get it.
Well, and not only that, but how about the catch that Cam Curl makes? Because it wasn't as if he just was able to catch. He caught it. He was rolling. The ball was moving. He still was able to secure it on the way in. I mean, it was a spectacular catch. But every one of these guys, whether it's Dan Orlovsky on ESPN or the former NFL backup quarterback Chase Daniel, who does all these breakdowns, every one of these quarterbacks is telling you this is where the quarterback is throwing the ball under the expectation of the route that the runner is going to have. And DJ Moore's effort just wasn't there.
No.
And maybe it was a mental mistake more than it was a physical mistake. Nonetheless, you can sit here and blame Caleb all day long. I will give credit to Cam Curl rather than taking away.
You can get on Caleb for maybe some of the other turnovers, but that one in particular, that wasn't on him.
No, I think he had 3 interceptions, so that about. I don't.
Well, and there was one that was a tip, right?
Yeah.
So that's tough too to pin on him too.
Right, but either way, so in real time, all I saw was a ball that was to nobody but Cam Curl. So that's where I blame.
Well, what Kappy and I are saying to you is
I hear you.
What Kappy and I are saying to you is you're a ball watcher.
A ball watcher, yes.
Not a ball knower.
Not a ball knower.
But ball watcher.
As opposed to a knower, right?
Right. Yeah. I don't know what the green dot is, so that's how that goes.
Right.
I made the point also earlier, George, as you were driving in, that one of the plays that will go under the radar, and there are several, but one of the plays that will really go under the radar was the Stafford fumble that most of us thought was just an incomplete pass because his arm would probably be going forward, but the ball was ripped behind.
Yeah.
And Kyren Williams jumping on that ball, because if there's one thing that the Rams should have learned about the loss in Seattle was, remember the 2-point conversion that Charbonneau picked up in the end zone? Charbonnet picked up in the end zone?
Charbonnet,
yeah. And remember, he picked it up in the end zone like,
right.
Oh, hey, I'm just going to pick up the ball and give it to the ref.
And
then
they
when he
gave
picked
him
up the
a
ball,
2-point conversion, right?
You never, ever stop until you hear the whistle, period.
Correct.
And that is what Kyren Williams did, and it was a brilliant move by Kyren.
Which, by the way, ended up playing a role in the reason that Buffalo and Denver ended up the way it ended up, because the whistle didn't blow initially when the interception, it was ruled an interception, went down on the pass to Brandon Cooks. So to your point, you got to play through the whistle all day. Like if you're Brandon Cooks, you just kind of gave up on that because you thought you hit the ground. If you don't hear the whistle, you got to keep fighting for that ball.
Yeah, and two other plays, by the way, just come to mind here, especially on the Rams' last drive. There was the 3rd and 6 play, and I'm sure everybody was doing the same thing I was doing. Get the ball to Puka. Because if there was one guy who did not look like he was impacted by the weather at all, it was Puka.
Well, he played at BYU. It's not like it's cold in Utah, bro.
I thought the same thing, but I also thought to myself, this guy's from Las Vegas, and he's been playing for the Rams for the last 3 years. But Puka Nacua just looks like a guy that no condition impacts him. 3rd and 6, get the ball to Puka. They do. Picks up the first down. The other big play was the catch that Davante Adams had on the sideline, which was one of the most spectacular throws. We'll all talk about Caleb and the long touchdown throw, but the throw that Stafford makes to Davante on the sideline is the most spectacular throw. And by the way, catch as well, because how Davante was able to get the 2 feet down was incredible. But the Puka play and the Davante play were both monster plays on that last drive.
Monster.
That's right.
Monstrous.
Right.